What's going on, collectors? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go into a few different topics, but specifically what sold for me on eBay in this past week, so March 24th through the 31st. I'm going to talk a little bit about where I go for sourcing, what I'm buying, what I'm keeping, what I'm holding, what I'm selling, all that good stuff. And I want to talk a little bit about if base cards actually sell. I got a comment about that a few videos back that I think it would be good to just show my experience for what sold for me some on eBay, and hopefully that will give you guys some ideas of what to list, what not to list, and where to find it. So if you end up liking this video, please consider subscribing and hitting a like. So first off, we're just going to start in my eBay store. That's probably what most of this video is going to be. If you care to follow my store, you can see the name here at the top. It's just cards underscore caps underscore and underscore games. So cards, caps, and games. Now, I'd been going by a different name and recently changed it for a couple reasons. One, mostly to make myself stay in a little bit narrower of a niche. That's the main reason. When I'm out sourcing for items, I really only am looking for cards, hats, or caps, and games. That's literally pretty much it. And two, just for to be a little bit more professional, and when potential buyers are coming through, whether it's searching and my item happens to pop up, or if they're browsing my store, they can see that I specialize in those three things. So as we go through this, you're going to see that's the majority of my sales. There are a few other items here and there, but not too much outside of that. The only kind of stuff outside of cards, caps, or games would really just be clothes, and the only clothes I've really been picking up lately have been new with tags, and I found that those just really move fast. I price them pretty much cheapest or second cheapest and promote them pretty highly on eBay. But anyway, we'll get into all that. So let's start to look through just here at a few things that sold for me, and hopefully this gives you guys some ideas of what the photos look like, the titles I've been using, and all that kind of stuff. So this first card, specifically, I'm not going to talk about every single item that sold, but this first card specifically is a big-time player from the NFL who no longer plays, and a player that went to Virginia Tech, where I also went to school. Now, I would not have sold this if I didn't have some duplicates, so I'll just show you guys real quick. I do have a PSA 9 of the same card, and I believe from all the research I did that this is actually Cam Chancellor's true rookie card, his first Topps card. So I went ahead and just called it true rookie in the title. Don't know if that made it sell any faster or not, but I think I got an offer of around $6, maybe a little bit less, and I just went ahead and accepted, because right now, as you'll see when we scroll through here, I'm working to just liquidate pretty much any old items I have and a lot of the base cards I have, just to move on into a little bit higher quality items to fill my store with. That's what my goal is going to be mostly over the next couple months. So I'll go into just a few reasons of why I listed some of this stuff. We won't spend quite as long on every single item, but this card, Carlos Sainz, hopefully I'm saying that close to correct. I know F1 just kicked off recently, so any base cards or refractors of F1 I have, I'm just going ahead and getting those listed up, because I know F1 is pretty hot right now. I don't have any crazy numbered stuff, but that's just one that I happen to still have left over. I bought a big bulk buy of those, and I'm going ahead and getting some of them listed. Here was just an auction, some kind of basic Pokemon, a couple De Bruyne cards, Thiago Silva. So right now these are all March 31st, as you can see by the date. Jadon Sancho, we'll stop for just a second on this one. I went ahead and bought a lot of, I think it was 5 graded Jadon Sancho cards maybe 2 months ago, hoping he might pop off at United. It just really has not quite happened yet. The way I would have hoped. He'll have his random good game here and there, but he's going to be struggling perhaps to even get in the England team, so I'm just going ahead and liquidating some of that stuff. I took an offer on this one, I believe. Yeah, best offer accepted. I accepted around $17 or $18, so got about my break-even price at best on that one, maybe even a small loss after fees. So yeah, I'm just trying to move some of the stuff that I don't think I really want to be holding on to. Just a random lot of Pokemon cards. This one has been sitting in my inventory for a really long time, so you can see it was marked 70% off, and that's also one thing I'm trying to do a lot more now, is anything that's been there more than a few months, I'm just marking it down and trying to move it on. Next up, we have Daniel James from Wales. Now, here you can probably guess why this got listed up. I knew that the U.S. was about to qualify for the World Cup or be very close, so I just went ahead and listed up a few base cards of U.S. MNT players I have. So just to go into that a little bit here, do base cards actually sell? So there was a comment a few videos ago about something about having no direction in what I was buying. Cards would never sell if it's a base card, if it's not a scorer. And to a lot of those points, I actually agree. But to be honest, like I've had some super just random stuff sell, even in the past couple weeks, of just not even that famous of players and also non-goal scorers. So I do think if your store is filled with all kind of similar items, like me is mostly soccer cards. I do have some other cards, as you'll see here. We have a football card, and this was just something I got from opening packs a while back. But anyway, more to that point, base cards really do actually sell. I mean, these are a little bit older, and honestly, the reason is because the US has been in the spotlight a little bit more. But you'll see as we keep going, there are some cards of non-goal scorers that sell, and even just some kind of random base cards that sell. So Tua, I think I accepted around $1 on that one because the person that purchased this actually got both of these cards. So it was a multi-quantity order, which is always nice. And I gave him a nice deal on shipping after the fact. But normally I just do $2.99 first class, which a lot of people have like $4.99, $3.99. I think doing first class, but just setting myself a little bit cheaper, helps to sort of set my items apart. And I don't want to do free shipping, so usually I'm losing anywhere from like 50 to 75 cents on $2.99, but you know, I'm willing to take that because it's just a small bit of my margins. A lot of these cards that you're seeing that sold, like this Musiala, picked it up at a card show for $1 or less, so it ended up going for around 10 or 11 all said and done. So I'm okay with sacrificing a few cents on the shipping, especially if it gets multi-quantity orders like that. But then here's another example. This was actually a best offer, so I don't know why it says 1 cent. I think I accepted an offer around $3 or $4. So the reason I think this sold is it is a numbered card. But just to point out, this is a non-goal scorer. He is definitely an icon from Man City in Belgium. But just as a thought, you know, a non-goal scorer card did sell, probably because it's numbered. But that's just something I wanted to point out a little bit today. And then as far as where do I get all this stuff? I mean, all these cards are really just from card shows for the most part. Some of them I either opened packs and got them. So if I found the packs at Walmart, Target, or bought some packs online and then listed up some of the extras I had. But moving on a little bit further, these I specifically bought off of eBay within the past 2 or 3 years, and they've just been in my collection. So usually for a lot of this kind of older stuff, I usually will examine these, and if it looks like they're not quite centered up or maybe have a slight amount of wear, I usually am not going to be planning on grading them. So I'm trying to move the stuff that I'm not planning on grading. So these were in good condition, but not great condition. So a lot of times in my listings, I like to put the condition if I can fit it. So these to me looked somewhere between excellent and near mint, or maybe even near mint plus, but definitely not a 10 or a 9 if you grade it. So somewhere between a 6, 7, 8, maybe a 9 at the top. But I found that having the condition definitely helps. Moving on down here, this is something, just as I was saying kind of earlier, that's a little bit out of my niche, but I went ahead and picked it up because I just saw it at the thrift. It was at the thrift shop. It was new with tags. It was shorts. It was a brand I knew, which was Nautica. So again, I'm trying to really not go too far out of cards or hats or video games and media. That's what I really want to focus on, and that's how you get... Realistically, that's how you get multi-quantity orders, as your store just needs to be filled with nothing but that. And at this point, usually only working on my store around a few hours a day. I'm averaging 10 or more sales a day, which is great. So I'm looking at hopefully upgrading to the point of being a little closer to full-time this year. But I have another job in general that I do, so I'm looking to maybe take eBay a little more full-time this year now that I can do 10 or more a day. This was just something I got in a pack. This was something I found at the thrift. I think I got this at the thrift shop for like $1, maybe $1.99. So this is one that's just been sitting in my store for a while, and I just kept marking it down, and it finally sold. So anyway, didn't make a ton off of that. And then next up, again, this is another base card that sold. I mean, this guy is definitely a scorer, though. It's not soccer related so much, but I know Malik Monk the other night, even though the Lakers are not really in a good place and will probably miss out on a guaranteed spot in the playoffs and maybe miss out on the play-in as well. But I know Malik Monk scored 20, 25, maybe 30 points the other night. This was just an extra card I had. I have some nicer Malik Monk stuff that I'm just keeping for myself. But, you know, this sold for the reason of he had a very good game, and, you know, there you go. So base cards do sell at the right time. It's just, do you want them to be sitting in your store for 3, 6, 9 months? Probably not. So by no means am I advocating that you want to collect base cards, that you want to have a whole store of base cards, but you can serve different parts of the market within one eBay store for sure. And base cards are a great way to get newer collectors or kids, you know, into the hobby a little bit more. This was a pretty good sale. These were picked up just, I think at a card show, again, probably have 50 cents into them total. maybe less than that, honestly, because usually I just buy bulk when I find soccer cards, and you get some great stuff, you get some middle tier stuff, and you get some kind of crappy stuff. But yeah, these sold for $10.18 plus shipping, so that's really not bad. Reebok hat picked up at the thrift shop. These were just some auctions that I had run. So you see these Pokemon cards, they've been sitting in my store forever, so I just went ahead and auctioned them. These did pretty well on auction. This was a Ja Morant and a Josh Giddey. Ronaldo's one of the most liquid soccer cards or stickers you can sell, so I was just digging through the stuff I had. Found a Ronaldo. I probably have pennies into it, if not already profitable on whatever lot I bought this with, so I just went ahead and listed it up. I think I accepted an offer around $2 or $3. And in this case, this was not first class shipping. This was just simply the eBay standard envelopes for 53 cents. Now, usually I'm pretty happy with eBay standard envelopes, but sometimes they either arrive a day late, a few days late, or it says on the customer's tracking that they arrived, but they didn't actually arrive, and then they come the day after. So you do have to do a little more customer service sometimes with those. So just keep that in mind. And that's why a lot of my cards I've been selling with first class shipping, so I don't have to keep up with that as much. Very rarely does something get lost for me in first class compared to, I feel like there is a little more customer service and messages back and forth when you do this kind of shipping, just to point that out. A couple more hats. Now this one I'll just point out real quick. This train hat literally sold like within an hour or two of listing it, so I probably like underpriced this a bit. But if you scroll through the photos on this listing, if you happen to look it up, this one was new. It had the little piece of cardboard in the hat, so this was basically brand new. And yeah, this one sold within like an hour or two of listing it for almost $17 plus shipping. Usually at the thrift, I buy those for about $2, so that was a great flip on that one. This one was just a really old card. You can see the background looks a little bit different than this one. When I first started my store a couple years ago, I was taking pictures on this gray background. Now I just opt for this kind of cleaner, blackish gray white background that I think looks a lot better. And it's literally just the top of a tote flipped upside down. So I just have one of my walls in my office is just a bunch of totes, and I just ripped off the top, flipped it over, take pictures like that. Usually does pretty well for me. So mostly these are just some other cards I had in my collection, stuff I picked up at card shows. This was kind of an interesting find. This was a David Bowie shirt, and this little tag on it actually said pre-production and had a bunch of interesting manufacturing stuff on it. So this is like a Target exclusive shirt, but somehow I ended up finding it at the thrift shop with this interesting pre-production sticker. So I put that in the title. I'm wondering if that maybe made it sell for a little bit more or maybe made it sell faster, but that sold within a week or less. This is another brand that might be good to know. Black Clover. I'd never heard of it, but saw this hat. Wasn't even in perfect condition. It had a couple little tiny spots that you probably can't see, but I noted that. That got bought within a day or two of listing it as well, which is what you want. Really, you just want the cash flow going. You want it to keep moving, take the money, send it out, buy some stuff, sell it, repeat. That's really the goal with pretty much any eBay store, no matter what you're selling. Szoboszlai is another player that's done well for me. So a lot of my extra Szoboszlai stuff, I still have some rookie cards saved for myself, but that's been selling well for me. And also soccer card lots do well. If you put one kind of higher tier rookie with a slightly lesser rookie or prospect, that's been doing well for me. This is another nice find, a Bruce Springsteen hat. Then we got an Eric Garcia, Ryan Gravenberch. This one was one I picked up in a bulk buy that had a bunch of gold reactives in it. So I have a lot of other gold reactives listed in my store. So if you're interested in those, shoot me a message. Again, it's cards, caps, and games on eBay. And if you say that you saw it on Instagram or YouTube or something, I will definitely cut you a good deal. Just be sure to say that in your message. This is a little bit of media. This was not something I'm going to make much, if anything, on, because it costs about $23.19 to ship this media mail. So pretty slim margins, but it's just been sitting in my inventory for a while. Here's another example of some base cards that sold. Technically, these are optic, so these are not paper. They're a little more kind of better quality compared to just his paper rated rookie. But again, I listed up this Yunus Musa because I knew the United States was playing and about to qualify for the World Cup, and I knew he was playing. And then the other guy in this lot, Lammers, I really don't even know much about him, but I just knew I had a couple rated rookies from the same set, which is Chronicles, put them together, one big name and one slightly lesser name, and boom, there you go. So this is some other pretty basic stuff. Hat, a baseball card. This jersey, I'm still waiting for someone to pay for, so that's kind of the perils of I accepted an offer from someone with zero feedback, and now I'm just waiting for them to pay, so might end up relisting this one. So if you're looking for a Zion jersey, Feel free to check that out. It's size medium, I believe, and that was just something I found at the thrift shop. Then we got some more media. MetaZoo's done pretty well for me as well. I have a bulk box full of that. I was just digging through to find the ones that you want to look for, the ones that have this little gold guy at the bottom. So for these Topps MetaZoo, they have a gold, silver, or a bronze. So you can see the gold guy. I'm not sure exactly what that logo is called, but the gold and the silver are definitely more rare, and those are the ones that you can flip a lot quicker. We have a Makita hat, so just looking out for good brands usually. Juan Valdez coffee. This was something I bought for like 50 cents, sold it for 16, and then shipping was around 7 or 8. So not bad to turn 50 cents into like 7 or 8 bucks. However, I'm going to try to steer clear of almost any stuff that can break in the mail at this point. Kind of just not worth the hassle, and I'm kind of tired of buying packing materials and that kind of thing. I'm trying to stick more strictly to cards and hats at this point. Another thrift store find. That was an auction, actually. This one had so many watchers, and I just couldn't get it to convert, so I went ahead and just ran an auction. Only doubled my money from $2 to $4, but hey, we'll take it. Zaniolo sold on auction. This one, I, again, had a ton of watchers on this. I had it listed as a best offer for around $25, $30. Just couldn't get anyone to buy it, so went ahead and auctioned it and ended up getting 15, which is not terrible. Danny Olmo, gold reactive. Not a bad sale. I think he scored a fairly important goal, or must have scored a nice goal for Spain recently, and I think that's why that went ahead and sold. Brand new pair of shorts. That was a good find. Some golf stuff. This was sitting in my inventory forever and finally moved. Then another player that's been doing well for me lately is Tyrese Maxey. So if you have some basketball cards going into the playoffs, the Sixers should probably at least win a series, but that'll depend who they get matched up with in the East. So anyway, I've been starting to collect a little bit of Tyrese Maxey. This was just some of the most basic base cards I had, but technically they're rookie cards, so that definitely helped. And going into the playoffs, someone you might want to look to sell. This one, I don't know why it sat so long in my inventory, but for some reason I just couldn't get this one to move, and I just ended up accepting an offer. I don't think it says that on here, but I sold it for around 12 or 15 bucks. I'm going to look to buy some nicer Serginho Dest stuff. I'm pretty high on him for the future, but this was just an SGC 8.5, and I think I could put the money to better use. This was a couple hats that got auctioned off. Some Pokemon that got auctioned off. And then here's just another good example of a base card that sold. I don't know why this sold or who was looking for it, but somebody wanted a 2016 Select Julian Draxler. This one's definitely in clean condition. You know, it's a nice card. Maybe you could grade it. I'm not going to really look to grade much base stuff unless it's something super rare. But yeah, again, base cards do sell. I wouldn't build your store off of that, and I wouldn't necessarily start a collection of base cards, because the high-end collectors and where the big money is, they're probably not buying base stuff generally, but this was another good sale. Leon Bailey. Then we have a Gio Reyna. Now, I'll admit, this one I might have sold a little cheap. I could have probably waited until the U.S. officially made it in and was qualified for the World Cup, but I just went ahead and took the money. I have another one of these exactly that's not graded that I think has a shot at gymming, so I might go ahead and grade my other Gio Reyna or try and use that money to get some nicer Gio Reyna stuff. And again, like I was saying, I'm trying to steer clear of stuff that's not in my niche, but I happen to be just looking through some clothes, because sometimes I buy some clothes for myself if it's something I like. And I just saw these pants, Dockers, brand new, good condition, clean, looked them over, no rips or anything. So usually pants are around $4.50. So if you sell it for 18 plus shipping, that's just an easy, quick flip. And those didn't sit very long. This was a bag. You can see it's got the Brooks logo, or a little travel case. I thought this would sell so much quicker, but goes to show what I know. That sat around for a while, so I went ahead and auctioned it and barely got anything, and probably even took a small loss. Let's keep going. Next page, and again, if you're interested in this store, feel free to check it out. Cards_caps_and_games. Oh, do we get another sale? Maybe. Looks like somebody paid for something. Maybe they heard us talking. So we'll go through up until March 24th, and that'll give you guys a good idea of what sold for me over the last week. This was some UFC. I know there were some fights recently. I do not know if Jiří Procházka fought recently. Maybe he did, but these were just something that I had listed a while back. They finally sold. This one as well, I was a little disappointed with the price that ended up happening with this. Now, there was an SGC 9 getting auctioned off at the time I listed this, and I think the 9 only did like 180, 190, maybe a little bit more. And this 8, I went ahead and accepted an offer of, I believe, a little under 200. So it was actually a pretty good offer given that, given what the 9 auctioned for. This one was in really, really good shape, and you can see it's centered extremely well, and it's a card from 1966, super old. I probably intend on buying another one of these and grading it. They cost around anywhere from $50 to $100, maybe even $150 raw. But I did, I made some money on this one. I bought it a long time ago and graded it for $30. Have a little bit of remorse about selling it just because it had some really, really nice eye appeal and really well centered on the front. But all in all, I'm just going to look to, like I said, make the cash flow keep coming in and try to keep grading some of the nicer stuff I have. This was just an auction of some NFL cards. Another NFL card. This one was pretty cool. It was a numbered Barry Sanders card, and anyone that's a GOAT does pretty well. For me, usually, here's another Yunus Musa card. So I think that was at least 2 or 3 in this video alone. So a Yunus Musa silver optic. Now this one I would have kept for myself. It might be hard to see in the photos, but it had a little bit of surface wear, and I got this out of a pack on my own too. This was just something I found some Donruss packs at Walmart, opened them, and yeah, it was just not in good enough condition to grade. So I went ahead and moved it. Some more shorts that were brand new. It's a good season to be selling shorts, that's for sure. A Chicago Bulls mug. This was in my inventory for a long time, and I just wanted to move it. So this was something that was about a break even. Didn't do great on that. I think I'm going to kind of just start steering clear of glassware and mugs in general. This is a pretty cool Petr Cech card from the 2006 World Cup. Another pair of shorts / swim trunks. Another brand new shirt. Pretty easy sale, easy flip. We got another Malik Monk actually in this video, and then I think that would take us to the end of March 24th. So I have some other numbered Malik Monk stuff that I think I'm just going to hold on to for myself. But yeah, in general, just to kind of recap all that, thinking about sourcing, most of this stuff I get either from card shops, card shows, eBay, or sometimes some other websites, but generally those. And then also some of the cards come from packs if I go ahead and actually find some at Walmart. But in general, I'm going to try to open less packs and focus on buying what I want, either already graded or trying to buy a raw one that looks really nice and grading it. I think that's going to be more of my strategy this year instead of just buying packs and hoping, because it is pretty hard to actually hit what you're looking for in a retail pack compared to like a hobby box or something like that. And then as far as the hats and everything, that's just mostly thrift store. You can find pretty nice lots of hats on eBay as well, but I like to look them over a little bit more, and sometimes the pictures are just kind of not so good. So hopefully that gives you guys a good idea of some of the stuff that's been doing well for me. I didn't want to make a video like this until I was selling about 10 items a day. So, if YouTube happens to bring a few more people into my store, that's great. But even before ever putting it out, really on Instagram or YouTube or anything, I've already been hitting about 10 to 12 items a day. So I think on my 90-day on the app, I think I'm around 950. So I'm at like 9.5 items a day, roughly. Hopefully getting up to 10, 15, or 20 at some point. But yeah, I think what really has helped me is just niching it down to nothing but pretty much just cards and some hats if I see them. And hats can be a little tricky sometimes, but I've started to learn the ones that are going to sell the fastest, and especially if they're in brand new condition like this one. I just look for brands that I really recognize. If it's something I've never heard of or some random high school in the town where I live, I usually just try to kind of leave that stuff behind. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please let me know what you thought about it. And if you're new here, I would definitely appreciate it if you would consider subscribing and dropping a like, and I will try to do some more videos like this if you guys enjoyed this one. So appreciate it, and see you on the next one.